Okay, so today we're turning that window into a door that a pallet can get through. So it's got to be 1.3 wide, 2.2 high. It is drywalling, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So that's it from this side. So this is the door, the sliding door. It's basically two cheap masonite doors joined together in the middle, and I've now got to cut out the hole for the window, which is 1 meter wide by 95 centimeters high. So I've got to cut out a hole that will accommodate that. Using a jigsaw so it doesn't go all the way through to the other side, because invariably jigsaws don't line up. The blade goes a bit skew while it cuts, and it can actually make the other side not exactly the same as this side. So I've measured it carefully on this side, using one side as a reference and this side as a reference, so this line is the same on both sides. And hopefully when I remove this side and cut the other side out, I'll have a hole which I can work with and build a frame into, and then insert the window into that. So that's going to be the door. Then there was the hole in the wall, or at least a hole in the door. And it's very clear to see why these doors are so cheap. It's literally just masonite and this sort of honeycomb cardboard matrix in between, giving it quite a fair amount of compression strength, obviously, between the cardboard. And that's why they can sell these single doors for 300 bucks. I can't make it for that price. Honestly, the time and the effort and the materials alone, way more than that. So 300 bucks a door, join them both together. I had to trim the one down. You can see the joint there is not in the middle, it's slightly to the side. I had to trim the door down because these are I think 83 centimeters wide, and I needed 1.5 meters, so it was 160. Two of them had to take 10 off, and they made the join here. So it's got a nice supporting pillar at the bottom. Now this sliding door is going to slide on a rail at the top. Basically that system over there with these runners. These little runners, and then this is the C-track that it runs in. Only issue is it's mounted on a drywall, which is not very strong. So my solution to that is it's going to be running on little wheels on the ground as well, countersunk little caster wheels inside the door, taking the majority of the weight. It's a nice flat floor in the factory, so there's no issue with rough surfaces. Nice smooth, almost epoxied floor. And then the rail at the top will just sort of support it so it doesn't, fly off. So, because it gets quite heavy with this glass in here. It's a very lightweight door otherwise. It wouldn't really be a problem, but with the glass in it, it's going to be quite heavy. And being mounted in drywall at the top, I don't trust drywall for those sort of forces. But certainly with the wheels on the bottom taking most of the weight, it should easily handle what it needs to do. Alright, so now it's a case of building a frame into here and getting this ready for glass insertion. Pain in the ass, pane of glass. And there we have it, a super cheap, very cheap materials, all in all about 1,600 bucks. Sliding door, Basically runs along a little bit more than a finger's resistance. The idea is to keep the temperature in there quite warm, so I had to make it quite tight against the side here, and didn't want to really put any extra rubbers and that sort of thing, because the temperature will be okay in there without rubbers, and that just adds complications. But a real cheap sliding door. So drywall, bloody horrible stuff to mount these systems on. You got to try and find the studs to get the anchors through, those expander anchors that you got to drill through, and they expand on the inside, and then horrible. I don't like drywall at all. It just makes everything so much more difficult. This door should have just been hanging there easily, but unfortunately, because of the drywall, I don't trust those connections. They seem quite firm, but over time, so what I've done is I'll put little wheels on at the bottom as well. So it runs on the bottom and at the top, and it sort of just seems to work. And this front leading edge, instead of getting the aluminium at great expense to edge it all, I just got some 40mm trunking, normal electrical trunking, cut it off, cut that little clippy part off, and that now protects this leading edge from this aggressive edge, so it can bang against there as much as it wants, and then when this breaks we can just replace it with I think it's 80 Rand or something for that piece. So that's it. A very cheap sliding door system.